जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन यशोदानन्दन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ यशोदानन्दन यमुना Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीरूपां साग्रजाता सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीरामभक्तं कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Sandipan Prabhu has given me one topic, overcoming daydreaming. So, this topic I never heard. This is an unusual topic. I don't know from where you brought it.
It's from Foundation Rules.
Syllabus, huh? But Prabhuji never gave any class on this type of topic. Anyways, so we'll discuss something. Whatever I prepared, we'll discuss. If time gets over, we'll tell you some pastimes. So, what do you desire? Time should get over early.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. So, Srila Prabhupada tells the story of Gopal Bhan. Have you heard about Gopal Bhan stories? Prabhupada tells. Oh, really? Prabhupada told so many stories of Gopal Bhan. So, Gopal Bhan was like a kind of. Some say you must be knowing Gopal Bhan, right? No?
Radha Krishna.
He was there in the kingdom of Krishna Chandra, not our South India. Bengal also there was one Krishna Chandra Raja. Was a very great devotee also. So I think before this Muslims came, this Lakshman Sen was there. But Krishna Chandra was also very prominent king in Bengal. So he had some people say he was a gesture kind of, or kind of minister or something like that. So there are a lot of stories, just like we had Tenali Raman stories with Raja Krishna Dev Rai. Similarly, this Krishna Chandra was there. So this Gopal Bhan, he was also very wit and wisdom type of personality. So once upon a time, he had a friend named Govind. So this Govind was having great habit of doing daydreaming. Daydreaming यानी क्या है? केवल बैठे रहना दिन में और सोचते रहना, इमेजिन करते रहना, सोचते रहना. दिस डे ड्रीमिंग. रात को ड्रीमिंग होता है, वो एक अलग है. डे ड्रीमिंग यानी दिन में सपने देखना. प्योर हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन, दिन में सपने देखने रहते. So this fellow Govind had that great habit of daydreaming, and by the will of providence, he got wife also like that. Was also same way. That she was also used to do a lot of daydreaming. So both husband and wife were perfect match, made for each other. So both used to sit and used to do a lot of daydream. So one day this Govind said, if I get some money, I'll buy a cow. And that from that cow, lot of milk will come. And when that milk will come, I will use that milk to make ghee. And I will sell ghee. And also I'll sell curd. Also I'll sell milk. And in this way I'll become a very rich man. Like that he was saying to his wife. One day I'll become very, very rich man. I'll start a business of milk, curd, ghee, etc. etc. And then uh, his wife immediately went out and brought so many pots. Mitti ke pots she brought. And Govind, he said, what is this? Why did you bring so many pots? She said, if you have so much milk, so much curd, and so much this thing, ghee and all that, then we need pots to store. So I brought the pots. But he said, why so many pots? She said, some pots for ourselves, and also I want to give that milk and curd and ghee to my sister as a gift also. So some pots for her. And Govind became extremely angry. How can you give something to sister? This I am going to earn this. And your sister, she never helps us. How can you do this? And she said, his wife said, that you are always like this. My sister is so nice. She always loves me. And whenever I take my name of sister, you are always fighting with me like this. Why you keep on shouting? And this way both started fighting. Seriously. And then Govind became so angry that he took that Mittiga pot and threw at his wife, but somehow she missed it, and it came out of their house, and in front of their house, this our Gopal was passing by, and it hit him, and he said, "अरे, what is this going? इनके घर से मिट्टी का बर्तन आ गया मुझे लग रहा है. What is this?" Then he went inside and he saw that they both were shouting. And then Govind had picked up another mittika pot and he was about to dash it on his wife's head. And Gopal stopped him. He said, what are you doing? He said, this foolish woman, she is wanting to give our milk and our curd and our ghee to her sister. And what is this sister? I don't like her sister. She's nonsense woman. And then Gopal asked, but where is your milk? He said, when I get money, then I'll purchase a cow. Then the milk is going to come. Then Gopal understood this fellow is to simply daydreaming. He needs to learn a lesson. And then he took a stick and started beating Govind. And he said, Govind said, why are you beating me? Why are you beating me? He said, your cow is coming and grazing in my courtyard. That's why I'm beating you. Why you are allowing your cow to come and graze in my courtyard? And then Govind understood, no, he said, there is no cow. Cow has not come only till now. So Gopal said, see, you are daydreaming like this, you fellow, and simply not doing any practical thing, simply dreaming, thinking, imagining. What is this nonsense? He said. So like that, this is story. Of course, these stories are originally from Srila Bhaktisaran Thakur, and Prabhupada also used to tell a lot of stories like this. There are a series of stories Prabhupada has told on Gopal Bhan. So another story, I think probably this is also from Srila Bhaktisaran Thakur. That another story of daydreaming is also one person, he was dreaming, similar dreaming. So he was thinking, actually he went and he had no money practically because he was quite lazy person. So he had no money practically. He was so poor. He was simply a beggar, and he had no money. So he went and begged someone. One potter. He said that please give me at least one pot. And that potter was just denying him. Hey, no, you get out last. He said he was begging him for many days. And then he got somehow that potter gave him the pot to this beggar. ठीक है, ले लो बोले एक pot. That beggar came near his. He had no proper residence also. He was staying almost on a street only. But whatever tree or something he was staying under. So he came there and he put that pot and just sat and started daydreaming. I have this one pot and then I will sell it. And then After I sell this, I'll get 1 rupee. And from that 1 rupee, now I'll go to the same potter and he sells the pots for 50 paisa. Hmm. So I'll take I'll get 2 pots and then I'll sell them for 2 rupees. And in this way, I'll become started imagining in this way, I'll get this. And then I'll become a rich man. I'll get lot of pots. I'll get rich man. And then when I'll become a rich man, I will marry a wife. Find out a very good wife and I'll marry her. And this wife must obey me. If she does not obey me, then I'll kick her with my foot. And then what he did, he actually kicked that pot with his foot. And that pot broke into pieces. And alas, he said, even one pot was there, even that is gone. Now nothing is remaining with it. So these are the effects of daydreaming. Like that. So basically, this is useless wastage of time and mental energy. So we have to know that actually this is dream only, what we are living in. Of course, not this one, what going on, because we are in reality. Because spiritual, this class is not a dream. Because spiritual subject matters are not a dream. So what is this material life itself is a dream actually. Because the conditioned soul is unaware of his real position as eternal servant of Krishna, and because of that he is simply misidentifying himself with this body and with this material world, and he's imagining so many things in material world. He's trying to act in so many ways in material world, just like in the dream a person identifies with something else and he keeps on making a big picture story out of it. Or in the movies we see that some people go for watching movies, so that time they undergo those emotions although they have nothing to do with that movie and nothing is actually happening as a movie also. Movie is what? Just a story. Just like we tell some story, children tell some stories like that, which never happens actually. It's not a history. It's a story which is more or less imagined story, right? So movie is also like that. But we'll see that when there is a tragedy scene, people are crying. When there is comedy scene, they are laughing. So what is that? There is nothing of this. Like in the movie, they see that some hero died and the people start crying. What is their connection with that hero? No connection. Is that hero their father, brother, friend? Nothing. Also, that hero never died actually. He's alive. Still they cry. So why this is? Because of misidentification with that movie. Same way, the conditioned souls in material world, they are misidentifying with this body and with the whole material existence. And because of that, they are undergoing so many varieties of sufferings. It's like Prabhupada gives the standard example that in the dream, sometimes one may see that the tiger is chasing after me. And the person actually starts sweating, although there is no tiger. There is no tiger. Or sometimes in a dream, one may get a bad dream that one is having sex with a woman, and actually sometimes one may lose the semen. So these are all things which are not happening, but one is suffering the consequences of it. So that's how this whole material existence is simply an illusion and dream. Especially our presence and our kind of identification with this material world is simply an illusion. And that's why whatever materialistic person or whatever person is doing in this material world is simply a dream. It's like the activities in the dream. And then what is the thing which we get in the night, that we call as dream? That is dream within a dream. And what is the daytime like this, the daydreaming? It is the worst part of that. So there is a dream while awake, there is a dream while sleeping, and overall it's a dream only. So only thing which is reality or which is happens in the realistic state is the practices of spiritual life, because that time we are actually in our real position of a spirit soul. Otherwise all our things are simply a dream. It's a simply dream. And more when we gets engaged into materialistic activities, is simply getting more and more entangled into that dream, into that ignorance. And what is there going to be? He simply has to suffer the consequences of happiness and joy, sufferings which come through that dream. One can never find one's eternal position. One cannot find any permanent happiness in that dreamlike situation. So that's why we have to understand that actually this material existence is not meant to be lived, it is meant to be escaped. We should not try to make our material existence very, very, what do you say, very, very glorious, or very glorious is not a right word. Glory will come, may not come, but too much important or all the important. We should not make materialistic life as the material life as the only thing, all in all. It is simply a dream. Hmm. And Prabhupada used to say that's why modern civilization or modern advancement of civilization is advancement in the dream. In the dream, you may think that I have got 10 lakh package and I have got 50 lakh package. It's all dream. It has got no value. Similarly, all the ambitions and all so-called, what do you say, so-called possessions, positions of this world. In fact, our bodily identification itself, thinking that I am this body, is simply a thinking in the dream and nothing more than that. Hmm. So unless until we awaken to this state, we have to undergo the onslaughts of material nature. One cannot escape. One cannot escape it. So that's why it is very important that as a devotee, we try to realize this fact. Hmm? Not just theoretically know it, but actually try to realize that I am not this body, I am spirit, soul, and I am eternal servant of Krishna. This is my real position. So what is this daydreaming? Daydreaming means simply imagining. I'll do this, like these two fellows, they're imagining, without doing anything practical. Hmm. Similarly, identifying with this material body is simply an imagination. Soul has nothing to do with this material body. Soul has got nothing to do with material world. Soul has got nothing to do with materialistic relatives and friends. These are simply dreams. Just like in the train, we may make some temporary relationship with the co-passengers, and then we never meet each other again. That is what is our relationship with our relatives and friends. Similarly, we may possess some shirt and coat, and after some time, we just throw it and we don't remember it. Most of us don't remember our dresses and coats of past years, right? They're just gone, like that. So many of times we don't remember our possessions also of previous years. They're gone. So body is like that. So as devotees, we know this fact that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. But it is not just simply sufficient to know, but we should try to act on that. And what is the practical way of acting on that? The practical way of acting on that is to engage in the practical devotional service. Navavidha Bhakti. That's the way we can actually act on the soul platform. And that's why I'm saying that now we are discussing this class is not a dream. Why? Because we are actually trying to understand spiritual subject matters which are reality. It's not a dream. you know so Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, in this regards, what he says, ya nisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagarti sanyami tasyam jagarti bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. So he says that for a materialistic person, what is awakening, that is a state of dream for a devotee, or it is a place of time of sleeping for a devotee. And what is a time of sleeping for a materialistic person? That is a time of awakening for a devotee. So we see literally also it is true, isn't it? What is the time of awakening for devotees? 4 or before that, and that's a time of sleeping for materialistic, isn't it? Their sleeping starts at 2 o'clock or something like that in the night. They are fast asleep. This is the time they may get up or something. Many of them. And what's the time of sleeping for devotees? 9:30, 10. They are wide awake. People go to out for hoteling and all at 9:30, 10 o'clock, right? So that's how this is literally true. But Prabhupada gives a deeper understanding of that. It's not just in the terms of really sleeping and waking up, but Prabhupada says that a devotee is awake for spiritual realities and for spiritual life, whereas a materialist person is totally in ignorance about it and he's unconcerned about it. He doesn't care for it. Whereas a materialistic person is very interested in materialistic life, and a devotee is, aloof from it. He is not very much interested into it, like that. So that way, a materialistic person, he keeps on dreaming so many things in his life, which passes on in the name of ambitions. So there is nothing wrong to have ambitions. Of course, all these so-called ambitions are also on a dream-like state only. But at the same time, he has no clue that so-called ambitions and dreams he has, they may not always come true. And they give examples of, see, this person, he was a poor man, and then he had a dream, and now that dream has come. He has become prime minister, or he has become a big businessman. But see, they take some exceptional examples like this, and they say this is what can be done. But we see no, most of the people, it doesn't happen like that. Many people, they may have so many different types of dreams and so many different types of desires and ambitions, they don't get fulfilled, hmm, like that. So that's why, you know, this kind of activities, that daydreaming or simply dreaming about various things is not at all useful. In fact, it is simply a waste of time, and one is getting engaged into materialistic illusion so much because of that. So it's a waste of energy also, mental energy also. So now we discussed that how these, first of all, this material life itself is a dream. Hmm. And the goal of our life is to actually get awakened from the dream. What is the solution for a person who is sleeping and dreaming and suffering? What's the solution?
Waking up.
Wake up. Yes, he should wake up. That's it. And all the suffering will be over. Same way, all the sufferings of material life will be over when we awake to our spiritual identity. So that's why we have to understand this value of the facility we have given in human form of life for awakening our spiritual identity. So once upon a time, again, one person, he got a pot, you know. So he begged, hmm, for so much for a pot, and somehow he got a pot. And what he did, he took that pot and started tossing, hmm, and started playing like that with the pot. And then that pot, one time he missed that to catch it and it broke. And then he was lamenting, alas, 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 like that. Hmm. And then again he went to the potter and again he begged. Somehow that potter mercifully gave him. And again he started tossing like this. And again that pot broke. Hmm. So this happened several times. So what lesson Srila Prabhupada tells from this is that we have begged for this human form of life to Krishna so many times. Hmm. But because of not taking it seriously for spiritual cultivation, we just, by just wasting this human form of life in fun making and materialistic pursuits, we just lose it. And again we go and beg to Krishna, and with great difficulty we get this human form of life, and again we lose it. Hmm. So that's why it is very important for us to recognize the importance of human form of life. Hmm. And how the time, every moment in human form of life is so precious, because we are not having guarantee that what will be our next life. Hmm. Sometimes devotees say, Prabhu, I am a devotee now, so next life I'll become human being. That is for sure, right? Yeah, it is for sure. But where human being? Human being can be in the Congo jungle also, or one may get in Ukraine or Russia, Syria. You want human being birth in Syria now? No, or Afghanistan. Where is a spiritual practice there? Very less chances, right? So one may get human form of life, one may become a tribal also in jungle. That is also human form of life. So devotee cannot be afford to be so careless and casual about this fact, that it's not just we get relaxed that where apna human form of life is fixed for next life. That's okay, but you know that's another opportunity you may get for spiritual advancement. But it's not that one will get spiritual life very easily like that. One has to beg for it. So that's how this human form of life one has got. And we have to know that the time in this human form of life is very precious. So that's why a devotee, he understands this fact, and that's how he learns to discipline his life. Hmm. He learns to discipline. Hmm. A person who is daydreaming, basically he has no discipline in his life, and he's simply on a mental platform. Hmm. And he simply keeps on thinking, thinking, thinking. Which mode do you think it is in? It is in mode of ignorance. Yeah. At least a person in mode of passion, he creates something, he does something. Even though it is in the dream of a materialistic life, still it has got some value. But a person who is simply daydreaming is simply in the mode of ignorance. You know, do you know what is the symptom? Mode of goodness person is progressive. You know, Mode of passionate person means he is simply creative, so he creates something. He doesn't improve much. But he keeps on creating various things. But the person in mode of ignorance is useless practically. He does not do any practical activity. He does not engage into something productive. He simply keeps on wasting his time and energy. And that is typically daydreaming person. Like this fellow was there. He never endeavored to get any cow and anything like that. He's going. But he was simply dreaming. What's a gain? Zero gain. No gain on material life, and what to speak of any spiritual life? No gain on spiritual life also. So how our life should be? Our life should be that we take care of uh, our whatever material life, so-called material life. For a devotee, nothing is material life. Everything is spiritual life. So one should do it. Whatever is needful, one should do in material life. But one should also see that there is a appropriate time left for spiritual practice, so that we can come out of this material dream. So that should be the life of a devotee. He should do the needful for material life, and at the same time he devotes a solid time and energy for spiritual advancement. That should be devotee. That should be the devotee's life. So this daydreaming causes lot of trouble actually. For even in a devotee's life, if he keeps on doing, it causes lot of. It's a waste of lot of time and waste of valuable human energy. So that's why in the scriptures, everywhere there is a discipline required. Even in material life, without discipline, there is no accomplishment. What to speak of spiritual life? There is no accomplishment. One simply suffers. If a student he is not studying well with a discipline, he can't accomplish. If he's just dreaming, that okay, this girl is so nice, that girl is so good, and then when I have a lot of money, I want to become this, I want to get that. What are your practical efforts in this regard? That they don't have anything to do. They simply want to waste their time talking, chit chatting, thinking, feeling. Simply feeling is one of the things which wastes our lot of time. Although feeling is a symptom of a living personality, but many times one gets carried away in his mind in the so-called feelings. For example, suppose some devotee speaks to us something, and one keeps on thinking about it and keeps on, yeah, ऐसा बोला, ऐसा किया, मैं अभी ऐसा बोलूंगा, मैं वो करूंगा, ऐसे ही करते. How much time gets wasted in such thinking and so-called feelings, isn't it? How much our mental energy gets wasted in this kind of thoughts. The thoughts which could have been used for some positive activities, the time which could have been used for positive activities, that gets lost. So that's why the scriptures tell us discipline. So Ashtanga Yoga practice is what? First two aspects of Ashtanga Yoga are what? Yam and Niyam. Yam means don'ts, Yam means do's. One should follow the rules and regulations. What is the purpose of this? Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara, all these things are there. What's the purpose? Discipline of mind, senses and especially mind. Eventually it should lead to the discipline of mind. So unless until the mind is disciplined, what will happen? It will by default go in this daydreaming zone. It will by default get carried away by this, feeling and this and just thinking, overthinking. Thinking is required. Feelings are rational. Of course, feeling should be there, but one should know what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, because they should be directed towards a solid positive action. Then those feelings and thinking is good. Otherwise, if that thinking and feeling doesn't lead to solid positive action or solid accomplishment, then it has no value. Only one thinking and feeling has got value. That is thinking about Krishna and feeling for Krishna. You can think of Krishna 24 hours a day without doing any practical work. That is fine, provided that we are actually thinking of Krishna 24 hours. There is no need of any other thing required. But it's very tough to do. How many of us can do it? Even while chanting, to think of Krishna is very difficult. What to speak of thinking without other times of the day? It's not that easy thing. So that's why Yama Niyama, follow rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita what? That completely fix your mind on me all the time. And then he says to Arjuna, if you cannot do that, then follow the rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, you should follow those rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga. So that's what devotees should accept also. So similar things are there in Bhakti also. What are the first two symptoms of surrender? Six symptoms of surrender, you know, right?
Then accepting also rejecting.
Ah, anukulyasya sankalpaha, pratikulyasya varjanam. Whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness, we should accept it. Whatever is unfavorable for Krishna consciousness, we should reject it. That's what a devotee should be. This is similar to yama and niyam in Ashtanga Yoga. Similarly, in Bhakti Yoga, these two things are there. No spiritual practices can be successful unless until one has got this discipline. So even uh, you know even in the materialistic life, we see that person requires that type of discipline of mind and senses. Uh, just 1 minute. I'm amid some camp. You may be knowing. Haribol, don't do. Come. Yeah. So even materialistic person, they need also some discipline of mind and senses. They can't just be unlimitedly just doing whatever they want to do. So this Muhammad Ali, he was a very famous boxer. So what he was telling those days, older times, he was telling that before his champion matches, he follows brahmacharya, almost 3 months, 6 months before that. And he said, it's not that I don't like sex life. I like sex life very much. He says very openly, is admitted. I like sex life very much. But he says, but I know if I get into it, I'll become weaker. That's why I follow. It's a tough thing for me, but I follow it so that I can become successful, isn't it? Similarly, a successful student, he has to control his mind. Then only he can become successful as a student. A person who is working in a company, if he does not do his job well, he simply keeps on giving lot of reasons. He does not meet his deadlines. He acts very irresponsibly. He won't be able to be successful in his job. He won't be able to maintain his job as well. Many happy-go-lucky persons are there, right? They may sometimes get a job also. But then what they do, they simply keep on whiling away their time in the job as well. They simply keep on doing time pass, this, that. They don't perform the task. And then the boss becomes angry. They remove. That's what happens many times. So, in this way, that's why the discipline of mind and senses is very much required for everyone to get a success. And do you think that in spiritual life such a discipline is not required? People think that, yeah, for material life a lot of discipline is required. Yes, and people are ready to do that discipline in material life. But when it comes to spiritual life, people feel no need of any rules and regulation. I want freedom. I don't want to follow anything. I just want to do whatever I like. And still I should get success in spiritual life. Where is God? Why is God not helping me? But we see, what are you doing for God? Are you controlling your mind and senses for God? Then how do you expect God will help you? God helps those who help themselves. Like that. So that's why it's a requirement for a devotee also, for spiritual life also. So there was one yogi, he became very famous in America, older times. So many thousands and thousands of followers he got. And what was his proposal? You do whatever you want. If you want, you can smoke. If you feel like, you can smoke also. No problem. If you want, you can eat meat also. There is no problem. If you want, you can engage in illicit sex. I don't recommend it, he says. But if you like, what can I do? You may do it. Like that is. And if you like, you may steal also. Little bit. Yeah. Only thing what you should do is meditate for half an hour in a day and give me donation. Became very popular, very convenient, right? Just sit and meditate. We don't know on what they are meditating upon. But it is very convenient philosophy. But it is a philosophy, right? It has got nothing, no value. They are never going to advance in spiritual life by such kind of things. Which scripture says? Which religion says that this kind of philosophy? What to speak of Hindu religion or Vedic religion? Even in Islamic religion, there is a discipline. They have also injunctions. Even in Christianity, there are disciplines. No religious no religions which are bona fide religions ever advocate unrestricted indulgence into of mind and senses into their gratifications. Which religion? No religion says like that. So it is simply a mental concoction if one thinks that one can do anything and everything he likes without following any rules and regulation, and still everything should go well in his life. He should be very prosperous and he should get lot of spiritual advancement. It never happens. You take karma yoga, there has to be lot of sacrifices and disciplines, this, that, vratas, vows, and this and that you have to follow. Or this also. Karma, kanda also. You take jnana, one has to study very rigorously the scriptures. And of course, Ashtanga Yoga, Paila to yahi hai. Yam niyam only. One cannot, people these days, they totally forget yam niyam. What they do? They directly come to the asana. And then what? Then they think meditate. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi, uspe direct jana chahte. And what about this? Yama niyam, no. That they think we'll do meat eating, we'll do any nonsense activity, still, we should be able to meditate. Yeah, they still may get some benefit of peace of mind and all, but peace of mind for how long? It doesn't becomes a chira shanti. They never get eternal bliss. They get only temporary bliss, temporary peace out of that. And again, the life remains the same. And life after life, that it will remain the same, or may become even worse. So that's why it is required that one follows what are the injunctions of the scriptures. And one of the very important thing, that's why for a devotee is to discipline his mind. One of the most important quality of a devotee is avyartha kalatvam. He never wastes his time. And daydreaming is a sheer waste of time and mental energy. A devotee never wastes his energy and never wastes his time. So devotee is very conscious, is understand that every moment is very precious. I should not waste my time. So devotees should not waste their time in unnecessary sleeping, and also should not unnecessarily doing sense gratification. And also, of course, one of the important factors is unnecessarily browsing on internet. And also one should not waste one's time simply in thinking and all this, simply thinking and just, whatever. So-called feelings and this and that. Daydreaming. One should not waste one's time. Devotee means avyartha kalatvam. He uses every moment in a very purposeful manner in Krishna's service. Who is the greatest? The Acharya, of course, all Acharyas, but still, who is the Acharya who is the great example in this regard of time management? Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, isn't it? Again, of course, all the Acharyas, but specifically Bhakti Vinod Thakur, right? What was his schedule? Minute to minute, things would work in a very planning way. Minute to minute. So, what is the solution for daydreaming? The solution for daydreaming is keeping ourselves constantly busy in Krishna consciousness, and that's what we see. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was like that, and that's why he was so efficient. What other judges, they would take 3-4 days to solve one case. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would solve, in a day he would solve 3-4 cases. Why? Because he was very precious. He was very, very conscious. He was very, very disciplined in his mind and utilization of time. He would not waste time here and there. And because of that, it gave him, of course, again, keeping aside his as a Nitya Siddha, as a normal person also, if you see that it gave him that such a clarity of intelligence. It gave him such a clarity of mind. That's why फटाफट he would not waste time. इसका सुनो, उसका सुनो, ये सब इतना time pass नहीं करते. He would ask very pertinent question and he would very clearly detect who is a criminal, who is at fault. Is this really criminal or he is being unnecessarily being tortured as a criminal, and he would write judgment within a day. 4-5 cases he would solve. So now the world needs such kind of judges, right? There are so many cases pending. They are going on for years and years together. Why like this? And how many books he wrote? Every day early morning he would get up, he would chant first of all his whatever rounds, 32 rounds he would chant. He would chant and then he would read and he would write and then he would respond, he would preach. 2 years he took leave from government duties, and in that he established 250 Namhatta centers, each having minimum 500 devotees. This was the accomplishment of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Unimaginable, right? 250 centers. It's a 25 centers is also a big problem for us to make. One voice to handle, we feel, oh, it's so difficult, isn't it? Why he could do so? Because, of course, he was spiritually very advanced. That is the main reason. At the same time, one of the very important factor of that spiritual advancement is also he was very, very clear in his mind. He was very clear in his intelligence, and that's how he knew what he's supposed to do. And he would do right things, and he would do right at right time. And in this way, he could achieve a lot of success both ways. You see his career life, whatever, and his spiritual life, such a great grand success. What a revolutions he has done. Practically our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya was going to get extinguished. But it was Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur who rekindled it. So it's such a great credit goes to him. So that's why, what is the solution for this daydreaming kind of thing? The solution is keep ourselves very busy. Always keep ourselves engaged. Devotee means he should be busy serving Krishna. Once one devotee asked His Grace Jayanand Prabhu, how to advance in Krishna consciousness, how to make a progress in Krishna consciousness. And Srila Jayanand Prabhu, he said, I don't know, I'm just busy serving Krishna. So he's not even thinking about how to advance in Krishna consciousness. He's so engaged in the process of bhakti and services to Krishna. So that should be the devotee's always stand. Then, because the mind has got positive engagements, he can stay away from this daydreaming. So practically, what should a devotee do? I believe this is one thing. Some practical tips are, conceptually we understand. Practical tips are, first of all, we should make to-do lists. Every devotee should have a lot of to-do list. What I want to do for my job, what I want to do for my studies, what I want to do for family, what I want to do for my sadhana, what I want to do for my seva, what I want to do for developing good relationship with Vaishnavas, what all things I want to do. This all list should be there, to-do lists, because that to-do list will make you having little pressure. One should take vows of chanting extra rounds. Because when you have that pressure of chanting extra rounds, you have taken a vow, suppose, that I'll chant every Ekadashi 32 rounds. So then, along with a job, if you do 32 rounds, where is the time for daydreaming? There is no time only left, because you are fruitfully engaged. So we should take such vows. Suppose we could not complete those 32 rounds on Ekadashi day, we should not say, "Kya kare, nahi complete ho gaye." No, we should continue there. Okay, let me try to complete in next 2-3 days. Like that, if we take some specific goals, some specific engagements for ourselves, that pressure of engagements will make us get rid of this daydreaming tendency. So, busy devotee is a happy devotee and very safe devotee. Actually. Busy who is serving Krishna, one who is serving Krishna, that devotee is very safe and happy devotee. Whereas a devotee, sometimes people feel na bahut, especially voice devotees ka rehta hai, bahut load hai Prabhu, bahut load hai, bahut busy hai. Anyone of you have heard like this? Anyone of you are like this? Bahut load hai, bahut busy hai. You are blessed. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says, free time is not opulence, it is danger. Have you heard this quote of Radhanath Maharaj? Free time is not opulence, it's a danger. So somebody is fully busy, having lot of services to do, lot of sadhana to do, lot of Vaishnavas to discuss Krishna Katha with, and other things, whatever duties to perform. So, but if one is busy with Krishna, then there is no question of daydreaming. So this is important. So I was reading one interview of a Gurukul boy, and this is what exactly he said. So one that interviewer, he was taking interview of a Gurukul boy. He said, "Don't you feel bored here in Gurukul?" He said, "Where is the time for getting bored? We are so much engaged. We are always engaged in some seva, some sadhana, some shloka recitation, performing, learning. We are learning so many things. We are having so much shloka, and there is so much learning for us that whole life we can be busy in learning so many things. And there are so many rounds to chant, and we want to chant more and more rounds. And there are so many scriptures to read, and so many yajnas to perform, and we want to do so much good for the society. And we have so many services. We don't have any gadgets only. So everything we have to do with our hand. We have to pull the water. We have to construct things by ourselves. So we have so much to do. So there is no daydreaming. There is no, and that's why there is no boredom. We are always engaged. We are always busy. So a busy devotee is most blessed devotee. A devotee has too much free time, he's in danger zone actually. So actually, despite taking so much engagement, sometimes our mind creates a trouble. Mind gives a lot of problems, and we have to tackle it. What to speak of if we don't have proper engagement only, and we have not planned anything, we have not written anything down. So not should just this to-do list should be simply on a mental platform. They should be written down, and if possible, we should make some alarms out of it, reminders out of it. Have you chanted 32 rounds of Ekadashi? And then after 3 days we may have forgotten that अरे मेरा 32 16 extra round हुआ ही नहीं. And then the reminder will come, have you chanted? Immediately one will understand, yeah, I have to put my hand in bid bag, I should complete some, at least 4 or 5 I should complete today, and like that. So like this, if one does keeps ourselves busy, then where is the question of daydreaming? There's no question of daydreaming. So a devotee has to, it's very very important that we have to have lot of goals, lot of specific to-dos for achieving those things. It should not be a random life going on. जैसा आया टाइम, जैसा चला चला जा रहा है, टाइम के इसमें बह रहे. Life should not be like this. Life should be goal oriented. The life should be oriented in achieving some good things in our life. That should be the there. Otherwise simply चलता है, चल रहा है, जिंदगी चल रहा है, and then we understand what is your accomplishment? Oh, nothing. Many retired people, even in material life, we see that many retired people, they feel great crisis in their life, in the end of the life. That is called middle life or end of the life crisis. What is that crisis? They feel I have not accomplished. I wanted to do so many things in life. In my childhood, in my youth, I had so many dreams, but I did not fulfill even one of them. The life went just like that. What I did was simply took care of some family, and simply did some job and earned some money. That's it. But I wanted to learn music, which I could never accomplish. I mean, I know old age what not music I can learn. I wanted to, write so many things, but I could not do so. So like that they face. So he says that Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nunam Santi Sahasrasha Apashyatam Atmatattvam Gruheshu Gruhamedinam Nidraya Riyate Naktam Vivayena Cha Vavayah Divacharte Haya Rajan Kutumba Bharaneneva. How a materialistic person's life goes? Shrotavyadini Rajendra, so many subjects to hear. And then about their daydreaming. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nunam Santi Sahasrasha Apashyatam Atma Tattvam. They can't see the Atma Tattva. They can't understand this Atma Tattva. And in this way, the life gets whiled away, wasted away in materialistic thoughts, materialistic dreamings, materialistic discussions, and materialistic this thing, hearing and chanting about materialistic things, discussing these things. So much life gets wasted without any accomplishments. And then also, Nidraya Riyate Naktam Vivayena Cha Vavaya. The night gets wasted in sleeping and sex life. And Divacharte Haya Rajan. In daytime gets wasted in materialistic activities and materialistic talks. In this way, Kutumba Bharanenava, Keval to fulfill the belly of the family members. So don't think that I am speaking something very strong or something, but this is the reality, Prabhus. Maybe you try to talk with your older personalities in your family. Many of them have this kind of traumas that we could not accomplish, we could not do what we wanted to do. Yes, maybe we became rich, maybe we produced a lot of children, maybe okay, good, but what we wanted actually to do, so many things we wanted to do, we could not accomplish. So that's why a devotee should be, he should accomplish some things. And what is because this materialistic accomplishment, devotee should accomplish something on a spiritual platform. So we should accomplish something wonderful for service of Krishna. Sometimes devotees feel, oh, I am so humble, what I can do for Krishna. No, we should have some goals that I want to do this for Krishna. So that's why we should make some goals for sadhana. This is my goal for sadhana. I want to complete reading Srimad Bhagavatam. How many of you have read Bhagavad Gita through and through? See, all of you, not all of you also still, isn't it? Isn't it a big, very important goal to accomplish, to read Bhagavad Gita through and through at least once? Srila Prabhupada has written entire Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita for us. When are we going to read it? isn't it? When are we going to read it? So we should have a goal that I want to complete, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So many books are coming, practically so many books are coming out. So we should have some goal for it. Similarly, we should have some goal to accomplish something for Krishna. That I want to preach to so many boys and bring them and make them devotees. I want to engage myself into preaching and I want to grow preaching or whatever. Or I want to worship the deities very nicely. What should I do for Vrindavan Chandra? You are staying right in the abode of Vrindavan. It's not that I'm saying you are not doing seva. You are doing wonderful services, of course. But a devotee should not be satisfied simply thinking like this, that I am doing now, all right. No, devotee should be greedy for doing more and more for Krishna. So you should think, I should accomplish something solid service for Krishna in my life. I should be able to make so many devotees. I should try to worship the deities, or I should try to put good books, or I should keep the temple very clean, whatever. He should take some tasks and goal for himself. By that, this tendency of daydreaming will be, and we'll see what's the benefit when we give up this tendency of daydreaming. First of all, we will accomplish something which will give us the happiness also. Taishambru says that there are two things which give us happiness, two R's. One is relationship, another is results. So when we engage ourselves very busily in Krishna's service, some results will surely come. When we do some solid efforts we put and we keep ourselves busy in serving Krishna in particular proper direction, some results will come surely. That will give us great joy also. And we'll get appreciation also from devotees. And what will happen also? So we'll ourselves feel very satisfied and confident in our own life. We'll feel very happy, satisfied, confident in our life that yes, I can do something also. I'm not a useless person. And at the same time, a lot of service will be accomplished for the pleasure of the Lord, and also we will get mercy of the Lord, isn't it? So Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, right? Raga Desha Vimukta Vishyan Indrasharan Atmaneva Videyatma Prasadam Adhigachati. He says, one who controls his mind and senses and engages fully in his service, Krishna gives him mercy. He gets prasad, he gets mercy of Krishna. So one will get mercy of Krishna also this way. So we should become a very fruitful contributor in Prabhupada's mission. And first part of Prabhupada's mission is Janma Sarthaka Kari. So one should do fruitfully something in regards to Janma Sarthaka. And also one should do fruitfully something in the mission, overall mission also of Srila Prabhupada. So we had to, so this daydreaming has got some positive aspect as well. Positive aspect of daydreaming is solid planning, thinking about what is the right way of doing and all. So that should not be given up. One can spend a solid time in planning, provided that one is very, very alert to execute also. Not just keep the plans and then throw them away. But one should be very alert to execute those plans. Okay, I spent 1 hour in planning. But then the next phase should come of executing. And even if you could execute 50-60% of your plan, still it is a grand success. Don't worry 100% even if you can't execute, no problem. But it's a grand success. Don't think bad about it. And again, plan for what you want to do next. What is instruction from your superiors for you to do and how to accomplish that. Try to do that. And then again try to execute. So this planning is a positive side of daydreaming. So you spend time in planning, especially those who have a lot of habit of daydreaming. That means they are little strong in their mind, it seems. Their mind is too strong. So that mind should be used for planning. That's what it should be used for. And then executing it. Like that. So they will not face challenge much in planning. But where they will face challenge? Executing. Some people are more body kinesthetic, unka bahut rehta. So they execute lot of things, but they don't do plan. They can't plan much. So for them there is not much daydreaming problem. But some people their mind is very powerful, body is not that powerful. So they can't execute many things. So maybe these two devotees can make friendship and make a together program. This devotee spends lot of time in planning and he gives him, and this devotee is very good in executing. If they make up a team, they can make a solid success for Prabhupada's mission. They can bring such results for Prabhupada's mission. So many nice things could be accomplished by this combination of these two devotees, isn't it? So there is nothing waste. Our mind, somebody has got a mind which is always wondering, has a lot of dreaming tendencies. He should channelize that mental energy for planning for Krishna. and either he himself push himself for executing, or also if it is too tough, then he should tie up with some devotee who will also help him in executing, who also resonates with his plans. Then he'll like help in executing. So like that, if we do, this is how Prabhupada also, Prabhupada made so many plans. You see all the successful acharyas, they have made lots and lots of plans, and they have executed them. They found out right persons to execute them. They inspired those persons, and this is how they have got success. Like that. So, in conclusion, also thinking is not bad also. One should be thinking also. So rather than thinking about materialistic ideas and materialistic things, for example, the one example of wrong type of daydreaming is that you simply keeps out thinking about, now BJP won, and what should be their strategy, and maybe, this time they face this problem, so next time they should do. What are you going to? Are you going to tell that BJP leader, go and tell him that this is what you should do? That will not do also. We can't go and tell him also. How your thinking process is going to help? One of the most foolish things what I see is that they play cricket. उसके बाद डिस्कस करते रहते, वो जो डिस्कस करते हैं वो कभी खुद तो क्रिकेट खेलते नहीं, कहीं जाके उनको बताते कि उन्होंने क्या करना चाहिए, उनको एडवाइस देते नहीं, उनके बीच बीच में डिस्कस करते रहे. Isn't it sheer? For me, it appears to be sheer foolishness. Isn't it? उतना चैंटिंग करते तो कितना एडवांसमेंट होता था स्पिरिचुअल. 2-2 घंटा वेस्ट करते 16 माला हो जाता है 2 घंटे में. Don't you feel so? What a utter foolishness this is. They simply keep on thinking and discussing. So at least to me, it is very foolishness. It doesn't make any sense. आप और कुछ है तो I am open to understand. But you see, so this is the negative aspect of thinking. Thinking about those things which has no practical utility. It has got no practical utility. So then what is the right way of thinking? Think how to serve Krishna. Try to think about what you heard in the class. Try to contemplate, how do you implement in your life? Make some solid plans. Okay, today I heard about, this, I should become busy. In the class I heard. So think about it. Wherever I am wasting time, how can I make my life more and more fruitful? So think about in the day. This is not daydreaming. This is positive thinking. Thinking positively and try to execute those things. So planning and positively thinking, contemplating on the subject matter which we have heard about Krishna, which eventually turns into remembrance of Krishna. So this is the positive aspect of daydreaming also. So one should utilize that mental energy which gets wasted in daydreaming for these things, for planning, for thinking of Krishna, for thinking about the various points you heard in the class, and then making some ideas about from that, trying to execute those ideas. This is all will make daydreaming will reduce like anything in our life. And then you'll see that your life will actually be you'll feel a sense of accomplishment in your life. Yes, I could do something. One may say, is it not false pride? No. This is positive pride also. This kind of positive sense of esteem, accomplishment, which a devotee can have. It's not a false pride. No problem. So one can have that. And of course, one understand that this has all been accomplished by Krishna's mercy. It's not that I am independently. I may plan 100 things, but unless until Krishna gives mercy, nothing can come. So this underlying principle devotee will always understand. So even if that sense of accomplishment comes, or sense of, being useful in Krishna's mission comes, that's a very good sense. Like that. It's not a false pride. So, but every devotee, we all should try to do something meaningful for Krishna's service. And meaningful can be in varieties of ways. Like somebody takes care of Tulsi Maharani, suppose, very, very diligently throughout life. For sure he'll get darshan of Tulsi Maharani. Even before you die, you'll get darshan. Because Tulsi Maharani is so merciful. So, is it a meaningful engagement? Yes, it's a very, very meaningful engagement. Provided that one does it with great devotion and dedication. It's not that one day I do, 10 days I don't do anything about it. That means we are not doing it with dedication. You got it, na? So meaningful service can be from this up to preaching, starting temple, starting voice, or starting making devotees, or making a big book distribution party or something like that. Thousands and thousands of books distributing, or anything, One can become, kirtan, leader, and start makes kirtan happen everywhere. Just imagine one devotee takes a task that I want to ensure that every nook and corner of Pune city kirtan should happen. This is my goal, my mission of my life. So wonderful, and he tries. तो कुछ लोग तो हंसेंगे क्या है क्या, इधर की इधर कोई जाने के लिए तैयार नहीं होता है. अपना सैटरडे रहता है, आपका हरिनाम संडे, उसमें कोई डिवोटीज आने के लिए तैयार नहीं रहते. आप बोल रहे ना यू कैन फेयर ऑफ पुणे. No, 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 you should think like this and then make some plans. Okay, four devotees, they are interested, let us gather. And then present plans to Raisham Prabhu. He will be very ecstatic if voice devotees, they come and say, Prabhuji, we want to do Harinam Sankirtan. That is one of the Prabhuji's desires. Every nook and corner of Pune should be Harinam Sankirtan going on. So make some plans. Prabhuji will give some help. Ask some help from Prabhuji. Maybe we can team up, put in WhatsApp groups. Any devotee is interested, every Sunday we'll go different parts of Pune and do Sankirtan. Any devotee is interested, please reply. You'll get some devotees. If you get 3-4 devotees, also start. And eventually you'll see so many devotees will join. So many nice things will happen. And what will happen? Maybe Param Puja Loknath Maharaj will bless you, especially with this, right? He's a Sankirtan master for us, right? You'll get blessings of Maharaj also. So you see, so wonderful. Rather than simply crying, thinking, and simply wasting time in useless things, better to do something solid like this. And you will see how much blessings you get and how much accomplishment you can have. And you will be yourself very satisfied in your life also. So this is how the problems of daydreaming can be solved. Thank you.